Hey everyone, this is March 24th, 2016, and today our theme is consistency in social media, my two very favorite things when it comes to coaching, and I can't wait to dig in a little bit more with it. But first, welcome. If you are new and if this is your first Zoom ever, I am so happy to have you here. I know the rest of our team is happy to have you here. If this is like your second Zoom, whatever, or your millionth, they're just an amazing way to connect with our team. Like, you just really feel the family. Sometimes, we all support each other on social media, but it's so good to see each other through Zoom. And then once you get the opportunity to meet each other in person, you realize how short and tall everyone is because you're so used to seeing them through a screen. It's just a really cool thing. I wanted to start off our Zoom today with a minute of shout outs or build ups. So if you have been seeing a coach on our team that has just been thriving or doing something that you're really proud of, and if they're not on the Zoom, that's totally fine. But I thought it would be a good time to give someone a build up that's well deserved because you've been noticing something about them. So we're going to start that right now, and you can go ahead and unmute yourself and give a shout out. It doesn't matter if the coach is on this call or not. They'll hear it in the recording later. It's like the teacher wait. I'm going to wait until someone does one. The silence doesn't bother me.
I'm going to give a shout out to Kim Meyer because she is just a beast with social media, and she is someone who started off really slow for the first 5 months of her business, and
it was like 8 months.
Yeah, that's true. It was like 8 months, and then ever since then it was like above successful 10s ever since, and she's just been thriving. So shout out to you, Kim Meyer. You rock.
And if you look at your newsfeed, it's like Kim Meyer, and she's like freaking beast, toned up like crazy, and I'm like, oh, I want her body, but it's like, work for Julianne. Like, she works really hard for that body.
All right, I'll go next. I'm giving a shout out to you, Lauren, for being so vulnerable this week and sharing that video about, you just weren't feeling it and pushing through and being consistent anyway, because sometimes just keeping your head above water is what we need to do.
Mine is for Anne. We mall walk every Tuesday morning. It's like our thing, and we've been doing it for a really long time, probably 3 months. And it's just really cool because she's so open to growing and being honest with me in her journey, and also responding to feedback that I am willing to give her. And she always has great things to say too when I need to hear it. It's almost like when you're in a funk, you just need someone to help you out of it. And that's why I love this community so much, because it's so much more than working out and eating healthy. It is just relationships, and that I love it. I love it so much. So major shout out to you, because you definitely brighten my Tuesday mornings. And then Bethany takes it home at night because we always Zoom at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, and it's just an amazing day. We'll go with one more shout out.
I'm going to give a shout out to Rachel Ferguson because she has been killing it with her posts. She's so inspiring and doing a great job. I mean, we joined the same day and she's already going crazy, and it's awesome.
I know. You too, girl, though. You both are just going for it, and you're fearless. And if you are fearful, no one would even know. Okay, maybe one more if someone really wanted to go. I love shout outs. I'd always do them in classroom. At the end of the day, we'd always give build-ups. It's just a good way to start or end the day.
Okay, I have a shout out. I
knew you had to go. That's why I waited.
Okay. So I want to shout out to Gabby for seriously stepping it up and posting so many videos in Team Happy and Fit the last couple weeks. I feel like she has just exploded the last month in her business, and her leadership skills have come an incredibly long way. So I'm really proud of her, and just keep pushing. And yeah, so shout out to Gabby.
I love that you said that. Okay, Second thing, thanks for those build-ups and shout-outs. Like, don't ever be afraid on our team page to give shout-outs and build-ups. Like, my love language is words of affirmation, and I know I'm not the only one. It just feels so good, you know, and like, if you want more of something, give more of it. So if you are wanting more shout-outs, like, give shout-outs. Just a side note, if you are a new coach or you have new coaches joining our team, make sure that they get into the 101. It's called Team Fit and Free 101. If you don't know how to get to it, it's in our pinned post. I posted the link to that in there. And then once someone finishes the 101, it's just like basics on just, you know, how to set up your back office, like those types of things, taxes, like whatever. You want to set up a call, a Zoom with them. And I am more than willing to jump on that Zoom. Your personally sponsored coach who you signed up with is willing to join you when you sign up other coaches, just to like help them get entered into this process. Super Saturday is coming up in a week from this Saturday. There's one in the Dells. I think if you're in Wisconsin, that's mainly where our team is going. There's been posts on our team page about that. I'm going to be in Arizona, and so is Morgan. But I know that Lindsay's hosting one in Iowa, which is so awesome. So definitely get to a Super Saturday. If you are a newer coach, I just need to tell you the best way to get started is to start your own journey of your fitness and drink your Shakeology and start a challenge. So always, if you are like ready to go, just post in our team page and say, hey, I want to run a challenge. I don't know what I'm doing. Who wants to team up with me? There will be someone that wants to team up with you, or reach out to your sponsor because they will run one with you. When I first started as a coach, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I knew I wanted to run a challenge, and I think it was okay. My last few after that, or next few, were awful, and then they just like gradually got better, but it's about failing forward, and it's about trusting the process. I have had challenge groups where there is zero participation. And it just feels crappy. However, it was just good for me to start inviting and just kind of get a feel for what was my thing. So if you have new coaches, encourage them getting in a challenge group and helping run it. On Sundays, I'm going to be running a live power hour. Some of you jumped on, which I was super excited about. And I run it from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I know it's Easter. I'm still going to be running it. And it's basically a zero distraction time where we're digging in and we're inviting and we're making posts and we're responding and following up. It is just a really good time because I get sidetracked all the time. And with this live power hour, it's just like this, except for we're working. And I provide a timer and I provide guidance on what you're doing and how to do it. So I definitely encourage you to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the meat of our call. Consistency and a schedule. So if you want to take notes, I always take notes no matter what, like even if it's the silliest of things, because I always go back to my notes. So I definitely recommend taking notes just so you keep it in your brain and you have it somewhere so you can go back to it. First of all, I want you to know, like, to be a coach, you just have to believe that you have tremendous potential. When I first started as a coach, I always had a belief that I could do it. I didn't know how I was going to do it, and I didn't know where I was going to go with it, but I just had this belief that, all right, someone believes in me. I know I can help people. I think I can be really good at this. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about Shakeology. I had never tried a workout program. I might have done Insanity a couple of times in college, but I didn't know it was Beachbody. I just didn't know. I didn't know challenge groups existed. So when I say if I can do it, like, you can do it. So you just have to believe that you have tremendous potential to grow if you're open to growing. Like, if you're open to failing forward and you're open to figuring it out, like if you're open to struggling a little bit and you just keep going anyway, I promise you, magical things are going to happen. So fear, we so much value comfort. We value complacency, and we just have to stop. valuing something that's so easy to do. It's really scary when we set easy goals, or we throw in the towel, or we try to do the easy thing because the right thing is so hard that we don't feel like working for that. Because maybe we're afraid of rejection, afraid of failure, and afraid of just not being good. And I think you just have to get out of your head that it's not about those things. It's about learning more about who you are and how you deal with situations. So when it comes to consistency in this business, there's going to be fear and there's going to be, struggles, but those are so minimal when it happens to be that like 5 people are messaging you because you inspire them. The fear is so minimal when all of a sudden someone messages you and they're no longer stopping through the fast food restaurants to get food. Like that, my friends, is what this is about. And so you just have to live on the other side of fear. And how you're going to do that is 100% consistency. And I mentioned this yesterday on a Zoom, was the top 10 elite and in the whole coach network, they said, when you're overthinking something, it's such a time waster. I know this is something that Ann and I think a lot about because we overthink things. I do it too as a coach. It just causes inaction. It causes you to be so fearful because you're thinking so much about all the things that could go wrong that you're not allowing yourself to act and then have all the things go right. So we get so much trapped in our head. And when you're creating consistency in your life, and I'll get more specific on that, like big things are going to happen. So my biggest point to you is this, and you might want to write it down. It's going to be really simple. Don't disappear. Don't disappear. You just are going to trip over a lot of rocks to get where you want to be. Maybe you want to get to Success Club. Maybe you want to get to the Dominican Republic. Maybe you want to pay down debt. Maybe you don't want to go back to work. Maybe you want to leave your job. Maybe you have multiple jobs and you want to only limit it to one job, okay? But you can't disappear. And I was on the Success Club trip, and I don't ever say that to brag. The whole time I was there, I was wishing all of you were there. I'm not kidding. The whole time I was like, I just wish my team was here because they can feel what I'm feeling right now. Because the whole time I was looking around, I just kept thinking in my head, how am I here? Someone who didn't know anything. How am I here? Why did this happen? And it clicked in my head. It was consistency. I showed up every day. And what does that mean? I posted on social media even when I was afraid. Even when someone made fun of me and had a negative comment. Even when I got 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 traction. I showed up even when I would message people and I wouldn't hear back from them. I still showed up because I had a bigger belief in what I was doing than the tiny minds that were trying to convince me that I should stop. And so I think that's just the biggest thing that we need to think about is that you have this ability to inspire so many people. And if you disappear, someone else is going to inspire them. And I always think about that. If I wouldn't have shown up, we wouldn't be on this Zoom right now. There's no way. There's no way. If I would have not done my job, we wouldn't all be sitting here right now. So it's easy, hard work. So as far as consistency, I make a schedule. I'm not very organized in the sense of I plan my post ahead, but I am very consistent with my posting. I'm the type of person, I get an idea and I run with it and I post right away. I'm not the person that can hold on to my post and wait 3 days to post it. I'm the worst with surprises or anything, and I just have to post it right away. I swear when I'm pregnant one day, I have to know the sex of the baby because I don't think I can even handle not knowing what kind of baby I have. Anyway, that's a whole side note, but I'm just saying, I just love, sharing. But for example, okay, every time I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, I'm going to be posting something. And so you just have to have this game plan of what are your posts going to look like? What are they going to be about? And I'll get into that a little bit. But if you are struggling with showing up each day because maybe your schedule is so busy, I get that. I worked full time as an inner city school teacher. And, like, I get busy schedules. I get that. However, we all have the same amount of time in a day. So you just have to figure out how to make it work in your schedule. So just make sure that you're figuring that out. So for example, I'd wake up at 5, I would post right away on Instagram. And then at 7 o'clock, I would post on Facebook. And you want to think about what your posts are like. I'll get to that in a little bit. But make sure you're not just being sporadic with your posting. If you're going to post, like, maybe it's going to be 8 o'clock, noonish, and then 6 p.m. if you're only going to post 3 times a day. But try to keep that consistent. Obviously, it can change, a little bit with the time. But if you have a schedule, it's going to be so put into your day that there's no way you're going to miss it. And I think that's what helps me get set up for success. And actually, I Zoomed with a new coach today. She signed up a couple of days ago, and she asked me a question that I have never been asked before. And she said this. She said, Julianne, what was it that you did in the beginning that led you to be so successful? And I looked at her, I was like, I've never had that question. But I told her, I was like, it was simple. I showed up every day and I did the 3 vital behaviors. I didn't do extravagant. I never did event pages. I just did the same thing all the time. I ran a 5-day cleaning. It was a 4-day at the time and a 21-day. Hands down, that's all. I didn't do sneak peeks. I didn't do any of that. Now I always run a 10-day or 12-day and I do a sneak peek. That's it. But I had a plan and a schedule. So when I was posting, I knew that I had a 5-day coming up in the beginning of the month. So at the end of the month, I was posting for my 5-day. And that was some of my posts. So you kind of figure out that marketing plan of what you're inviting people to and what to post if you're feeling stuck. The 3 vital behaviors, my friends. You can always post a cool ingredient about your Shakeology. I like showing the value of Shakeology. So I like to say, there are ingredients in here that legitimately help reduce cravings. There's an ingredient in here that helps prevent inflammation. There's ingredients in Shakeology that helps with your energy levels, and it's natural. There aren't any artificial things, right? You Google, research Shakeology and share, I'm getting my fast food today, want to know what's in it. That's not sounding salesy. That's just showing people what's in your shake. You're not saying, hey, you should buy this from me. You're just saying, super glad this takes me 2 seconds to blend up and I'm getting all of my 70 superfoods, right? Like that, and all my vitamins and minerals. That is so cool. So show the value of your shake. For your workout, I hated working out for a year as a coach. Not kidding. I couldn't stand it, but I still did it because I knew I had to with 3 vital behaviors. So you might make a joke wish me luck. I'm about to work out in my house with Shanti. I hope I don't break a lamp. You can just do a funny post that's saying that you're working out, but it's not hey, anyone want to buy Insanity Max 30? And by the way, if I were to say that anyway, people look at me like I'm crazy because Shanti is crazy. So personal development, take a quote from your book and talk about how your mindset is changing and how you think different. With inviting and things like that, you can figure out a way to post for the 3 vital behaviors. So if you don't know what to post, always go to the 3 vital behaviors. I don't believe that there is a thing as I don't know what to post. There's always something to post. Go to your 3 vital behaviors. Don't overcomplicate. Don't overthink, but be consistent with your posts. Yay, go Caitlin. Okay, I want you to write this down and don't use the word your, use the word my. My story changes people's lives. So I'm going to tell you, your story changes people's lives. And if that's hard for you to believe, well, I'm going to believe in you before you believe in yourself then, because you changed my life. So you and everything you have to offer people changes people. And if you're consistent and you show up each and every single day, someone's going to relate to you. So as you're being consistent on social media, you're not worried about the huge amount of people and audience that you want to post to. You are thinking about that one person you want to influence. One of my goals for 2016 was to influence 366 people. So one for each day because it's a leap year. I want to influence 366 people. That is one person a day. So I'm not trying to influence 366 people a day. No, throughout the year, I'm trying to influence them. So your story changes lives. Social media. I kind of talked about this. You need to have a plan. So use your 3 vital behaviors and think about these 3 things when it comes to posting. I want to educate, I want to entertain, and I want to inspire. So for education, that's like the Shakeology one I just told you. Find an ingredient in Shakeology, Google it, explain it of why you like it. That's educating people. You're educating people if you tell them take half your body weight in water and that's how many ounces you should be drinking. Cheers to you, right? Thirsty Thursday. You can do a clever post that educates people about that. You can do an education post on foam rollers. You can do an educational post on whatever, like maybe it's a certain exercise move, dumbbells, whatever. Like you can educate them, entertaining them. That would be the example of wish me luck. I'm about to work out with Shanti. I accidentally bought Eric, his back was hurting, and one time I accidentally bought him butt cream. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I have to post it. Like, of course I would buy him butt cream and not back cream because I was in such a rush. That's entertaining. People want to see that stuff. One time my safe, it broke and I couldn't get my passport out of it. And so I held up my safe like, super safe. I can't get my stuff out of here. Wish me luck. You know, you just kind of take your whatever. Like I'm at home all day, but one day my husband is 6'8", and I had the idea to go put his pants on. He was at work, but he's 6'8". He's ginormous. So I got into his jeans and it looked like I lost a lot of weight. So I like took a picture and held it out, and I was like, I like did some kind of funny thing like want to lose weight or whatever, and then I was like, by the way, I'm wearing my husband's pants. Like this was not my transformation. Or maybe it was like about having a transformation. Maybe it was more of like a mental transformation. I don't remember what it was, but it was entertaining. Like it caught people's eye. And then inspire people. I feel like I tend to stick with the inspiration. In myself, I need to educate more, and probably educate is the number one I'm missing in my posting. So those 3 things are awesome. It would even be cool if you did 3 posts a day and they hit all 3 of those targets. You need to show up every day. Your graphics. If you were to look at my graphics a year ago, they were awful. They were so bad, but I still showed up anyway, and I just got better at them. I was talking to Caitlin Leopard about this. I would go to YouTube and type in PicMonkey and just teach myself how to make good graphics. I downloaded PhotoFi off of my phone. I downloaded other apps to try to make my apps better. So for example, the ColourPop. ColourPop is an app that it makes your picture black and white, and then you can color a part of your picture or you that makes it stand out. So maybe you do ColourPop, you make it black and white, and then you color in your colorful shoes and talk about going to work out. Studio, the app Studio is awesome because things are already pre-made for you. You just have to put your picture in Studio. It saves a lot of time. The app Rana, RHONNA, you have to pay $1.99, but that's how you get the glittery font. I was on the search for the glittery font. I love the glittery font. PixArt, PICSART. And you guys, all I did was, because I was showing up each day, my graphics were just starting to get better. It's not that I was working longer. It's just because I was posting every single day, I was getting used to the app and I was getting used to making them look good. So that's my simple trick. I always go to PicMonkey. I have posted a lot of videos about, maybe not a lot, but a couple of PicMonkey. All you have